Greetings everyone, Reed here, and we have an amazing, beautiful sunset going on here, and I thought I would share some of it with you guys as we get started on this video. So look at this amazing, beautiful landscape. This is why it's called the Land of Enchantment, and why New Mexico is an awesome location in some ways. Sorry, I am shaking because I'm doing this by hand. Alright, with the intro done, let's get to the video. Today's topic, amazing things we're going to discuss without rule of law. It's one of those things we talk about in prepping all the time. Without rule of law, when everything goes to crap and the world comes apart, there will be no rule of law, and it'll be everyone for himself. Total anarchy. Everyone shooting each other on their front lawns. You know, you'll have to be well armed, prepared, and be able to do and willing to do anything to survive the crazy apocalypse that will be upon us. Well, is that really true? I mean, that's sort of a harsh question is that true? Well, we had this wonderful event happening this year of the pandemic come across the nation and tell us a lot of things. And yeah, law and order didn't really break down on that. But then we had protests and riots over the George Floyd incident, which was total shit and horrible. You know, I need to make a long video on that, but that'll be coming. That'll be coming, everyone. But, you know, we had that, and then we had this autonomous zone set up in Seattle. They called it the Chaz, or the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, or the CHOP, the Capitol Hill Occupied Protest, and such. And this was an outstanding, wonderful lesson about without rule of law. And it turns out, without rule of law, partially myth. A lot of myth involved in that. And why do I say that? Okay. So they set up things going on in this Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, and they were getting everything moving along and everything like that. And the first day, we had the calm. People settled out, hey, you know, the police, we're going to kick them out. We're going to do things our way. It's a giant block party. Let's kind of relax, have fun, enjoy ourselves, relax. Nice times. We get to decide how things go. We're going to manage it all the way we want. Yes. Right? You know, stuff. And revolution is a big part of American history. And little revolutions reminding the politicians that it's still possible. They're still fighting the American people. I like that because it gives them pause to realize, yes, there is fight in the American people. So, you know, I'm a fan of that kind of thing. Sorry about the break there, everyone. We had a slight intruder come here, you know. My land was invaded by wasps. I kind of back away from those. They're well armed, you know, and I'm not a fan of getting stung. Anyways, let me get my train of thought back here. All right, so, you know, I'm a fan of little revolutions and stuff like that, you know, to remind people, yes, there is a fight in the American people. Also, why I'm an absolute Second Amendment supporter. Believe that them understanding that there is fight, that they go too hard and fast, the American people will go, no more. You know, it gives them pause. Lets them kind of realize we're still here. Now this particular one, this event, this Chaz thing and all that, yeah, there was a lot wrong with it. So, yeah, sorry. You know, it was an interesting experiment, interesting to see what goes on, stuff like that. Great teaching lesson for all us preppers and all that. But, yeah, not very helpful. Okay. But, back to what we teaching lesson. You know, so they're going and stuff like that, moving along. Well, things started changing fast. And we had a power vacuum. Power vacuum is a very important thing to consider and think about. Basically, when the authorities or what controls or sets the standard for how things should operate, the law and order, when what was there moved away, something came in. Okay? That's how things work the world over. You got one set of authorities displaced, things change. Another group that is going to establish their authority comes in. And so that you have a time, you have a limit between the calm before the changes, all right? And when people see that they aren't being held to a standard, that society isn't expecting certain things of them anymore, they'll start to do whatever they want. That was very obvious. We saw that as stuff like that. It's like we all have family members that are that cousin, that troublemaker and other stuff like that. When the parents aren't around, when you were kids, they got you into all sorts of trouble and you ended up getting your butt swatted real good afterwards. Yeah, you know the ones. So even in your groups and all your mags and everything else we got set up, when everything comes apart, if you do not have a plan for what is expected, how law and order is conducted, how things are managed, you're going to have a lot of people just running wild. They're going to be doing their own things. They're going to be cutting off, doing whatever they want, and it's a big issue. And in this case, what we saw come in is we saw a criminal element move in. They saw this as a haven away from the police. They could do anything they want. And a lot of criminality ensued. A lot of criminal actions were engaged upon, and things got crazy. Like we saw this clip here.
Our calls for service have more than tripled. These are responses to emergency calls. Rapes, robberies, and all sorts of violent accidents have been occurring in the area that we're not able to get to.
Yeah, she's saying that they're calling in, asking for, assistance and all this stuff, and they're saying because of the way things are right now, they're not allowed to go in there, they can't get to them. And they've had reports of crime just soar through the roof. Now, yes, you could argue that it's a lot of people just panicking, they're worried about what's going on, they're calling in saying it's worse and worse, exaggerating crimes and all that. So you've got a percentage of those they're trying to draw the police in, but they weren't coming in. Then, of course, there's all these wonderful clips like this.
Hold on. Listen, my man. No, shut the fuck up. Shut up. I don't give a fuck. Listen. No. I'm doing that shit. It ain't you. You back up, and you stay out of it. I'm doing that shit. No, get the backpack home and knock you the fuck out. I'm not on camera. I'm not no fucking rapper. I'm a hood nigga. Get the backpack home. I'm gonna fucking whip your ass. Let's go. Hey, stop. Stop. Step back if you are not part of security. Step back. That ain't it. Step back if you are not part of security now. Step back. Step back if you are not part of security.
Oh yeah, they totally had this under control. Now take a look at the security force that was established.
If you want to be safe, head to the precinct. Go to the precinct. Go to the precinct. Last warning. Go to the precinct. If you want to be safe, go to the precinct. These wild people in the internet let them know that. We have active shooters out. You hear that? Go! Go ahead. I'm sorry, I ran out of bullets. I was like, I know that dude. That nigga.
Where's the driver of this? Oh my God.
This clip of the shootings isn't the only clip of it. There's several more and stuff. And then the young kid that was killed inside the zone. And apparently the security forces, that some of the reports are saying they shot like 300 rounds into the vehicle and went like absolutely crazy. And at the end, you got the guy, when they were approaching, walking up saying, "Oh, you're still alive, huh?" And it sounds like they shoot him at the end, right? Yeah, real good security forces and stuff like that they got going on. Now let's look at how they interacted with this one guy, of what they perceived. They saw him showing support for the police on his shirt or whatever from this other YouTuber or whatever when he was in the zone.
They're saying with that, I wouldn't support that at all. Nope, why? That's not a cop pin. That's not a...
Oh yeah, wonderful treatment, so like that, that's a, they totally established a completely non-totalitarian, overreaching force. Yeah, they've totally got it spot on. They didn't make any mistakes here. But that is the point you really got to consider. When one set of society, laws, expectations, and all this stuff break down, new ones will be established. If you do not have already things set up in place, you do not have a plan, you do not have how law and order is going to be conducted, a set of situations, all this figured out beforehand, you've got an issue. The other thing is, the element that comes in, criminals. Now, people love to rag on about criminals. Oh, they're the dumbest people out there. And yeah, there's a lot of really dumb criminals out there. Plenty of them. We've seen them on the cops all the time like that. But one of the things that people get horribly, horribly wrong, that do not understand at all, is that criminal gangs are actually highly organized and well-managed groups. They are keen at running and using violence to get what they want. Keen at getting through checkpoints and other things to get their stuff done. Keen at hiding stuff, staying hidden, operating in the shadows. They know how to do this very effectively. Do not discount these guys and think that once things change and all this stuff, that these guys won't be a problem. They're just gonna, die somewhere in the corner or whatever, and no need to even worry about that. Wrong! These guys will be coming in fast, hard. They're gonna look at this as a perfect chance to set up and become warlords, make strong areas to protect themselves and their family, and tell other people how they're gonna do stuff, manage things their way, and gather resources. I watched a program a while back and some papers, and they were talking about is why is it we send all this aid, to Africa and all this stuff, and that the country's not some giant, flowering, amazing place. The whole continent's just lifted up in amazing ways. Well, the problem is a lot of the warlords there took the aid, confiscated the resources and everything like that, and used it to propagate their wars, to subjugate other people, to use it as a way to, strengthen their power base and move forward with it. That's a big issue, big problem. And it's something that definitely exists as a worry. And in giant societal change and everything like that, that is exactly what we're going to be facing. The criminal element will be coming in very hard and very strong, okay? You're also going to have the old powers that be, depending on what kind of the event it was and all that stuff, they're going to still think they're in charge, all right? It takes a great event to destroy the society and the people, to revoke their consent of the governed and to say, yeah, we're not playing by that game. We got to take care of ourselves. We're not getting behind that. But they're still going to think they have the authority. They think they have the power and stuff like that. They may order, the police forces, the local police forces. And a lot of the police forces may say, yeah, we ain't doing that because that's unconstitutional crap. And no, and say, heck no, we ain't doing that. But you could have some that go. You could have some forces say, yeah, we'll do that. Got to preserve the power. Got to do what it takes. Got to make certain we survive this event at all costs. It just depends on the mindset of the people involved. Most of the cops I know, I'm real friends with, all that stuff, they're like, nah. But it's possible you could have that there. You also have, some overreaching, gung-ho idiots that always wanted to be magically in charge. And so the police maybe walked off, gone home, and they said, hey, we're just going to appoint you guys. You. You're all now the new police, and we need this done. And then they go, yeah, hey, I've always wanted to be a cop. I've wanted to have my authority respected. Go forth, and they just start going there armed, door-to-door, collecting stuff. You never know. So you're going to have the old powers that be thinking they're still in charge. Now, a lot of the groups and stuff like that, your groups, and if you have everything set for expectations, you get everyone together, start moving, you can already set up your perimeters. You can get things set, established, laid out, and you can already be set. You can say, this is a safe zone, all right? We need these people, whatever, start getting more people in, start telling people we have a plan, get people to buy into your plan, show here's how we're going to move forward, here's how we're going to survive, and everything else. Line it up. And you could get a lot of buy-in, especially from people around you. They're going to still and particularly it's going to depend on the event. There's a lot of things. People are going to be less reluctant. People are going to be less willing to come in with you if the event is like, oh, it's a bad case of the flu going around. Versus, say, you're in a small town or whatever like that, and coming down the horizon from every side, so north, south, east, west, you got the mushroom clouds rising up. Yeah, there's a big difference there, What if it's, an EMP detonation and the power grid is just shut down, gone, everything's shut, no comms, nothing, people aren't getting anything come in. Well, you could see some people thinking, hey, help's going to be coming, they got to know about us. There's going to be a lot of believers believing that. Then others of us going, nope, we're on our own, let's get to getting, right? So it's going to depend upon that. Now, the other thing is that flips on that is also the without rule of law timetable greatly depends upon the disaster as well. That calm in the transition, when we saw on the Chaz chop where everything was like the block party, the summer festivals, and the fun stuff, everything just relaxing and easy going. you know, that lasted about a day, day and a half, and then you started seeing things change, right? Well, it's going to depend on the disaster, you know. If it's like the flu, yeah, who knows, right? Could go on for a little while to calm, and then people start realizing something's up. But, you know, we got a mushroom cloud event everywhere, or EMP transformers exploding in every single corner of all houses, lines dropping down. People see their, you know, the substation power supplies exploding a giant ball of smoke. They got no comms, the cell phones are down, the internet's gone, no one's telling them anything, and all cars aren't running, everything's just crazy town, stuff's blowing up, other things. They know something big happened. They might not know what, but something big happened. Yeah, calm may not last too long. You got a limited time to get moving, get things reestablished, get into gear, and get yourself going. So that's why planning now is so important, and setting the expectations. We gotta set the expectations for how the groups run, how they operate, how they manage stuff, and people know what size it is. So that crazy cousin, family member that gets all of you in trouble, yeah, so they know they do anything, yeah, that whooping's coming, so to speak, right? So important things to think about. I hope this is food for thought, food to chew on. Leave some comments, leave some discussions. Tell me what you think. Tell me if I'm completely out of my mind. And we will be covering more lessons in the future. And I hope you enjoy the video and learn something from it. And I got to get back to water and everything because the rain's coming in. And it's knowing how it's been, it's going to be like, done. And it's not nearly enough to water the plants. So I got to get stuff finished up, guys. I'll get this posted as quick as I can. Have a great day. Read out. Oh boy.
What? Oh, hello.
Yellow jacket.
Oh, okay.
Go fly.